Herzlich willkommen.
Yes. Welcome.
Just a few more people arriving and then we'll get started.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so you're all very welcome. The title of this workshop is Act as a Creative Part of Climate Change using TAE by Teresa Dawson.
Der Titel dieses Workshops ist Handle als kreativer Teil des Klimawandels, wende TAE an, von Teresa Dawson.
The workshop will be presented in German and there will be an English interpretation channel available in a moment with Evelyn Fendler-Lee.
Das muss ich eigentlich gar nicht auf Deutsch sagen, aber der Workshop wird auf Deutsch sein und wer das auf Englisch braucht, kann in den englischen Sprachkanal wechseln.
Presentations are recorded by Tiffy and pictures or images may also be used for promotional purposes. Participants can choose to turn their camera on or off.
Der Workshop wird aufgezeichnet und ihr könnt die Kamera ausschalten, wenn jemand nicht auf dem Bild sein möchte.
So myself and Till and Melanie are here to support you with any Zoom technical support issues. So please feel free to contact us if you need any help throughout the workshop.
Melanie und Robert und ich sind das Zoom-Support-Team und wenn irgendwie Probleme auftreten, könnt ihr eine Chat-Nachricht an uns schicken.
Okay, so just while we settle here, I'm going to read a brief bio for Teresa, and Evelyn will read it in German. So Teresa Dawson is a long-time coordinator in Switzerland. She was there from the very first TAE workshop, together with Jean Jandon, organizing several German-speaking TAE workshops in Stony Point. She uses TAE steps in workshops as well as in individual sessions, mainly in connection with environmental psychology topics. Yeah, so just for anyone arriving a little bit late, the talk is in German. There's English language translation available. You just by clicking the globe icon on your screen and selecting the English option. So I'll hand it over now to Teresa. Thanks, Teresa.
Dann herzlich willkommen auch von mir.
Yeah, a warm welcome to everyone, also from Teresa. Yeah, first I want to say thank you to all the three who really make all this effort for the technology behind the scenes. And Tiffy also really fulfills special wishes to allow to sign up just for this workshop and also this special workshop, and also that I can speak in German. And she's thanking me to make the translation, so all the English speakers have really an advantage. And I can concentrate much better in English, in German, so than in English. In this workshop, we just apply TAE, and we apply it for a special climate topic. It's unusual that I kind of give you a topic, and I hope and I'm glad that you can just go with it. And I guess that it's really also relevant for you. In all the TAE Fest, you have the possibility to learn TAE in its methodological structure. But if you have some questions, you can also ask them here. And I hope also you can get some out of the exercises. For these exercises, we always have the same partnership. And I learned that from Jean Jandon, and it makes a lot of sense because we always take notes for each other. And it's also very nice because the exercises really follow up to each other. And if you have one colleague, one partner, so the other is really getting also to know what you are doing. So if someone is only want to do the exercise in German, please write it in the chat, and Melanie will make the breakout rooms and the distribution of partnerships. And so it's very important, because there you want to have the language and able to speak to each other. So far, that's the introduction. We also will make some breaks between the exercises, so that we also can stretch ourselves. And that's also a part of the whole workshop. There's already said a lot about me, and I just want to, and I also want to say something more. So for me, it's an experiment about the online workshop, and it's especially the time structure. And that's why I always check my watch next to me, so that I don't need more time than I have. And I also have some notes beside me, so that there are not any kind of little disasters happening. I was with TAE from the very beginning, and I have a very practice-oriented application. Jean didn't really leave me any freedom, so he told me, asked me, what are you doing with your the dreams? And here now you get kind of a topic, and it's very surprising what comes out of it. I do focusing since the 90s, and parallel to that, I was very interested in the climate change and what's happening with our climate. And before it was kind of there was a lot of about nature, helping nature, the sour rain, and just in all this complexity, to realize that it kind of all that what was happening before is connected to each other, and that it has some consequences. And during the Corona pandemic, I decided that I will do all the regular focusing, that I don't do any more focusing training, but that I really want to deal with climate change. And I started to do the first workshops about it, which are really concentrated on climate change. And they are really concentrated on that, and we are looking at what's around us. I'm by Ecologists for Futures, and I also lead climate talks in Switzerland, and I also have like a meeting about climate. And I deal with burnout prevention for young activists, and really to teach them the relation to their own bodies, and they are very happy to learn focusing, because because in all this engagement they often forget their bodies and to take care of their bodies. Yeah, and that's very important to all the solutions of conflicts. We also need some poesy and some poetry. And I hope that also will happen by thinking at the edge. And there is also an urgency, and all the anxieties about the climate change and the existential loss. And a lot of young people are really close to depression, like I guess in all the world and in Switzerland, and they don't have like a vision of the future. And the politic and the economy is reacting too slow. And there is also a lot of feelings of guilt with the older people because we kind of lived in all this abundance. And now we are here, we are leaving all these problems behind. That's all so complex and there's so much change in the world. And to really to admit that, and we all don't have experience in that, to really to deal with such a crisis, with such a change. And it's new for all of us. And we as individuals, we need to kind of get into contact with that and also, but also in connections with others. And we also need to change structures and systems. So these are the 3 levels. And I always invite everyone to take care of yourself. How can I be in this world? And to deal with this uncertainty and the loss. And that there are, that it still is a fulfilled living you have in this world. And this is what I want to carry through with you today. Yeah, I would like to have Till or Robert to show the first quote, the slide with a quote. And this is kind of a bit of forecast of what I mean. Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. It is a quote that really is joining me for a long time. And it also brings me again and again into contact in a level within me that it is also poetry. It really touches something in my soul, and not only kind of all this engagement and the CO2 and all that reduction and just and to deal with the reduction of it. And just only with that quote, I'm very happy that there is also another approach. And that's what I really hoped to use and to apply TAE steps for such that you can listen to your own breathing. Arundhati Roy was becoming famous with a small novel. She's in India, a very famous climate activist. And she also has this kind of approach to herself, that it's not only about critique of the system, that we all, but also find other sources. What I found in kind of in making a self-test is that you also find that what I found with those exercises, that you really find a connection, a kind of imagination, a world of imagination. TAE starts already, we have so many different concepts, so many different ways of describing. And that also from there, an inspiration can come from our felt sense. And I also want to introduce now the first exercise. Yeah, so the first exercises will be shown. That's kind of a warm-up exercise, and this is very classical in TAE, that we really deal that we with the personal meaning of a word. A word always has a general meaning, but also if we take it in, it each word also means really a whole story that lives in us and that's carrying us. And so I give you here now the two terms, climate change and climate crisis. So in the partnership, you first can kind of introduce yourself each other, and a first person goes into make attention to oneself and making space for yourself. And then if you are ready and you can give a sign to your partner to say one of those two words. And then you take whatever is kind of happening in you, what is kind of triggering into what do you really feel about in kind of what images comes, what impressions are coming, and the partner will write it down. Sometimes more is coming, sometimes less is coming, and then if you have finished, you can say to your partner, and then you can make a little bit space again for yourself, and then you can take the next term and then also the next word and describe what it really, what sense it makes in you and what meaning it has for you, and your partner can write it up, and you can then also sense into the differences between those two words. And then you will change your roles such that each of you really have a felt sense for both of those concepts and words. And each of you has 10 minutes. And then we have in the whole group, we can make some exchanges. We can say what happened and we can make some remarks about that. So that's the first exercise. Yeah, so we are just checking if you are already in your breakout room, so such that you can start.
Okay, did you say for 20 minutes, Teresa?
Yes.
Okay.
In total 20 minutes, yeah.
So you will have 10 minutes each. The whole breakout room will be for 20 minutes.
Okay, I'll open them now. Okay, everybody's back now, Teresa, but for everyone wanting to listen in English, just you have to click the English again.
Okay, wenn alle wieder da sind.
Yeah, so if everyone is here back again, there is some time to ask questions, or if you have made any experience or some surprise you can share. And so you can lift your hand either, like that, or with a Zoom button. And then you also can unmute. yourself. So you can speak in your own language and it will be translated. I'm a bit curious because such abstract concepts always have a very, very personal experience and individual experience. And they can say so much more than we can read in a dictionary or at Wikipedia. And there is such a richness hidden in it about our own being. So how was the exercise for you? Please also say if you were stuck, and such that you also can be happy for the next one. It should be exhausting, should have some fun. Maybe it's a little bit kind of crazy. Nothing else can happen. And you also can relax in that. Just take whatever kind of is fitting for you and speaks to you. No, there's a raising hand.
So die Ineke hat, ja?
Yeah. Hello.
Hallo Ineke.
Hello, Teresa. There was we first took the word climate change and then climate crisis.
Ja.
And already in the first part, so at the first word, there was an image. I don't even know if it is specifically Dutch image, but of a frog in a boiling pot. And then it's about if the frog jumps out in time or it gets boiled and dies. And then in the climate change.
Moment, Ineke.
Ja, sorry.
Wacht even. Ik moet het even in het Engels zeggen.
Oh ja.
Jetzt haben wir
Wat was het beeld?
Ah ja, ich sollte das eigentlich auf Deutsch sagen jetzt, oder? Ja.
Das ist noch einfacher, genau.
Ja, das ist noch einfacher. Ich hab mich einfach vertan, weil ich...
Okay. So she was speaking in English, but now she speaks in German again, so I translate. There is a picture, the image of a frog in a kind of in a soup casserole, and if there is climate change, the water still is kind of comfortable. But if there is if it's a climate change, the frog is still comfortable. But if there is a climate crisis, then the frog really is thinking about, do I really have to jump out? And if the frog waits too long, then it's too late. There's already an alarm for both of the concepts of the words, but with the concept climate crisis, it's much more there.
Ist eindrücklich. Wer mag noch was erzählen?
Who else wants to say something?
I would like to. Can I just speak? Is it okay auf English? Okay.
Beides ist okay, ja. Englisch ist okay.
So I was with Esmeralda. We did a paired share, and I started with an image from my last workshop, the last TAE workshop that I was, of a picture I had taken of a
Gordon, just let me translate. Gordon hatte ein Bild aus einem Workshop, seinem letzten TAE-Workshop.
And it was a picture of a rainbow over a beautiful lake.
Das Bild von einem Regenbogen über einem wunderschönen See.
And it was a picture I took as I was moving from a house that I'd lived in for 25 years to a new place.
Er hat das Bild gemacht bei einem Haus, wo er weggezogen ist und wo er 25 Jahre gewohnt hat.
And when I thought of climate change, a huge sadness came over me.
Eine tiefe Traurigkeit kam, als er an Klimawandel gedacht hat.
And I felt the tears. And as it kept going, I felt it was a heartbreak. When she changed to the word crisis, it went from sadness and some anger to a sense of heartbreak, like a love that I felt was dying.
Als es zum Wort Klimakrise ging, hat er gespürt, wie denn sein Herz bricht von Trauer und Wut hin zu etwas Herzzerreißendem.
That was the essence for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing, Gordon. That's really touching. Yeah.
I was completely surprised too, because I didn't know that I had those feelings.
Yeah, yeah, they are underneath. I know. Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, wenn ihr bereit seid, gehen wir schon.
If you are ready, we can go to the next exercise.
Diese eben viele Gefühle, davon werden wir wahrscheinlich periodisch oder in Wellen immer wieder
Many of those emotions and feelings we will experience in waves again and again. And there is also really the call to ourselves to really take care of ourselves. And but also there is another source. And this source also should be to be remembered by yourself. And if we all have moments, experience where we were like really held, where we were like embedded, where something like space and timeless happened, where there wasn't any more experience of separation. It is like something big and something whole. And that also goes with these TAE processes, that we really recall such memories, that we really can go back to those memories. Also, again, in connection to our climate topic. So in the first exercise now, you will stay by yourself and to make the exercise by yourself. So let those moments come out of yourself and reveal by itself how that all that being there has been like. One of my own experience was when I was like 7 or 8 and I was waking up in summer morning in a bed at my grandparents, and through the closed window the sun came kind of into the room, and I heard a fly in the room, and it was kind of, that didn't make sense. And we really want such experiences, to have such moments of feeling hell. And that's why I want to invite you to collect your own examples and experiences. And you have 10 minutes time, and then we will make a short break. And during that time, you can go away from here, from the screen. And after the break, I will give you a short description of the second exercise. And then you will go back to your partnership, and you will already be a bit familiar with your partner. And so first you will need some of those experiences. And then I will explain more about the break. Yeah, and it's really now about to look for such experiments where space and time were just like one. So after the experience, we will make about 10 minutes a break, and then we will meet here, and then after the break, and we will then go into the breakout rooms.
Genau. Die meisten wieder hier?
So are most of you here again?
Also ich hoffe,
I hope
diese Momente
that you
in deinem
found
eigenen Leben
those moments in your own
da
life,
sind und sich auch
that they are
in
there, that they
Erinnerung
happened,
wieder herholen
and
lassen.
that also that you could kind of
Wenn ihr jetzt
bring the
in
memory back.
Breakout Rooms geht, wieder mit
Now, when you
einer
are
deiner Kollegin,
go
deinem
back
Kollegen,
into the breakout rooms with
dann
your partner,
nimmst du jetzt
then
von jedem
you
dieser
take
Beispiele, das geht wieder
from
in
each
diese
of those
Präsenz, dass du die
instances,
anspürst. Ja,
examples
was haben die für dich
from the felt
für eine
sense, what
Kraft, für eine Aussage und dass du
do they
aus
have
diesem
for you?
Erinnern, aus
What
diesem Erleben heraus, aus diesen Momenten
meaning do they have for
wieder
you from
einen
this
Satz
experience?
entstehen lässt.
And that you let
Diese
really let
typischen
form a
TAE-Sätze,
sentence
die
from
der Anfang
those
sind, nachher von dem
experiences.
ganzen
These
Ausfächerungsprozess,
sentences in TAE are the
hier
beginning of
seht
a
ihr
whole
das eingeblendet
explication
unten.
process.
Diese variieren auch, diese Beispiele, die du erlebt hast, die
All these
variieren aus
experiences
dem
you
Feldsens und das ist
you
dieses erinnerte
lived
Wissen,
through,
was sich
they
in Worte und in Sätze
variate
ausdrücken kann. Und an dieser
what
Stelle von
you
diesem
can
TAE-Prozess
express in
ist es
words.
wichtig, dass
And from
nur,
this
nur,
place
nur
in the
diese in
TAE
Verbindung mit diesem Feldsens
process,
eben
it's only important
Satz
that you are in
verstehst.
connection
Der ist
with the
nicht
felt sense and
rational
that you,
erklärbar,
only you can
der mag
understand
unglaublich
that
sein,
sentence.
außer
And
für dein
the
eigenes
sentence
Leben.
doesn't have
Ja.
to be
So in meinem
explainable,
Beispiel
and it
war
only
dann der
can be
Satz, das
understandable
Leben
for
trägt sich
yourself.
selber. Das macht
So
eigentlich
my
keinen Sinn,
sentence
außer
was like,
meinen Feldsens
my
heraus mit
life
diesen
carried
Erlebnissen, die
itself.
ihr eben
And
trägt,
it
mit
doesn't
diesen
make sense, and it
kostbaren
for others maybe,
Beziehungsmomenten,
and it
dann
only
passt
makes
der
sense
dahin.
if I
Und
have it in connection to
so
my
lass
felt
auch
sense,
für
to
dich
those
deine
experience.
Sätze entstehen.
And
Und wie
so
gesagt, es
also
darf einfach
let
nur
reveal the
kreativ sein oder
sentences
ein bisschen
themselves
beginnert
from
und du
those
streng dich nicht an damit.
experiences, and they can be a little bit kind of
Es kommt von alleine, wenn du dich einfach
crazy or
reinlässt
you
an
know,
deine
just a little
Erfahrungen.
bit
Ja? Macht wie
out
eine
of
Person.
the usual way of
Habt
saying.
genug Zeit, ihr habt auf jeden Fall
So we will have
Prozessierungszeiten
enough
drinnen. Vielleicht hast
time,
du einen Satz, vielleicht hast du zwei,
so you
drei
will have
Sätze.
10 minutes, and
Tu
maybe
dich
you
da
have
nicht
one sentence or you have three
blockieren. Ja? Und deine Partnerin
sentences, and
schreibt es
once you
eben
have
auf
them,
für dich,
don't
sodass du es auch nicht selber
reflect on them,
im
don't
Kopf behalten musst.
evaluate them,
Mach
and
aber
please, the
sicher
partner
auch im Chat,
need
dass
to
ihr
write
von
them
eurer
down,
Partnerin dann
and
die
also
E-Mail-Adresse habt, dass ihr euch später nach dem Workshop auch
please make sure that you exchange your
Sätze
email
schicken könnt,
addresses, that you
oder dann
can
auch dann für die
also
nächsten
then
Wochen, wenn
later
es möglich
exchange
ist. Ja?
by email all the
Also
notes you took from
jetzt ist wieder
for your partner.
alle parat sind,
So if
geht es
everyone
auch
is
wieder in
ready,
Breakout Rooms.
we will
Wir
go
wechseln
again into
zweimal
the
10 Minuten,
breakout
dann in
rooms.
20 Minuten sind wir wieder hier im Hauptraum
So
für alle.
each of you will have 10 minutes, so we will be back in 20 minutes. Oh, there is a question.
Hi. I'm not clear if the sentences need to come while we are doing a focusing session segment, or yeah. So I'm not clear if the sentences come then or come ahead from reflecting on the moments we found.
It's the reflecting, and you just invite the felt sense
of that memory or of that event. So it's not that you go through a focusing.
Teresa,
part.
can you respond in German? So then Evelyn.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Ja. Es ist kein Focusing-Prozess.
Es ist kein Focusing-Prozess. Du gehst mit dieser Erinnerung in diesen komplexen Feld Sense, was diese Erinnerung, dieser Moment des Erleben, you are going, sorry, I'm speaking German now, you are going with this memory, with a felt sense into that, and from there you create let your sentence reveal itself. So you just have to be with this memory, and from the felt sense, from this deep experience, let words come, and some messages come from there, and that they really mean something about that, what happened in that memory, and what it has some kind of knowledge for you in it. And it's not cognitive in a way, it is really just what's coming from when you relive that memory. And if you feel into it and kind of to liberate that experience, and then let the words come, let the sentence, let the meaning come from there.
Okay, thank you.
So Teresa, was the breakout rooms 30 minutes total?
Yeah, a bit short, but we can make 30 minutes, yeah.
You want 30? Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's okay. Probably they want to share the experience first or the memory and then go into the field sensing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and open the breakout rooms now.
Welcome back, everyone. Please don't forget to click the interpreter button if you want to listen to the English translation.
Okay, dann schön seid ihr wieder alle hier.
Yes, it's nice that you are back again. And it would be just great to hear some of the sentences or just share how the exercise went for you and how you experienced it. So who wants to share, just make the hand sign in the reactions. And you can just talk in your own language, so we will translate.
Hast du irgendeine Aussage, irgendeinen Satz, der dich auch freut, der dich belebt?
Do you have a sentence that you are happy about, where you really have a sense of, oh, that's exactly what I mean, and just share it.
Ja, Ineke, gerne.
Ja, also ich spreche jetzt Deutsch.
So I speak German. I found 6 situations, and I formed different small sentences, and then I tried to make one sentence out of them. And my final sentence,
geht alles über das Feiern, zusammen Feiern der Liebe und der Schönheit der Welt. Es hört sich komisch an in Deutsch, aber it's all about
So it's all about
celebrating the beauty of the world.
it's all about celebrating love and the beauty of the world.
Das war mein, ja, das war das, was in allen Beispielen zurückkam. Das war das.
That was what came out of all of the experiences.
Das ist schön. Danke, danke dir, dass
Yeah.
du das
Thank you very
erzählst.
much. That was very nice. And thank you for sharing.
Mag noch jemand
Does
sein?
anyone else want to share?
Oder sind Fragen auch zum Vorgehen? Das ist ja auch vielleicht unterschiedlich. Ah, die Regina. Hallo, Regina. Und die Karen. Machen wir erst Regina und dann Karen. Ist das in Ordnung? Okay, Regina, du musst dich noch einschalten mit dem Mikrofon. Okay.
Yeah, so Regina will share first.
Ich kann dir meine Sätze leider nicht sagen, weil
I
die hat
unfortunately
Hanna
can't
aufgeschrieben, aber ich
tell you
kann
my
dir
sentence
erzählen, euch
because
erzählen,
my
was
partner
mir
wrote
sehr
them down,
wichtig war
but I can tell you
bei
what
diesen
was
3
very important
Situationen,
for
in die
myself
mich zurückversetzt haben.
in all those 3
Zum
situations I
einen war
could
das eine Situation als
remember.
Kind, wo ich mich im
First, it
Wasser
was a situation
frei
as a
bewegt
child
habe
where I
und sehr
kind of
ja,
could move
lebendig
very freely in the
total
water,
verbunden mit
and
den
where I
ganzen
felt
Wellenelementen fühlte.
myself
Und das ist
connected to
was
all
ich
the
empfunden
elements.
habe.
And I
Also
experienced
da war einmal die Verbundenheit mit dem Wasser.
happiness
Das
there.
ist mir jetzt
There was the
aufgefallen.
connectedness with the water.
Und bei meinem zweiten Beispiel war
And
es,
in
da
the
habe ich
second
an den
example,
Achberg gedacht. Das ist ja so
I thought
deutschlandweit so Netzwerk,
about the Achberg.
ein Ort, wo wir
That
jedes
is a
Jahr ein
place
Treffen machen im Sommer,
where from our
ein
focusing network we
Fokusseminare
have a
oder TAE,
meeting every year, and we do
wo
focusing
ich
there
eine
and
große
TAE.
Verbundenheit
And I
mit
feel
der Natur und mit der
a
Gemeinschaft
lot of
empfinde.
connectedness
Also
with
Gemeinschaft, diese
nature, but
Gemeinschaft,
also with the
Verbundensein
community. So
auch
being
eine
connected
ganz
with the
großartige,
community is for me
wichtige
an extraordinary and important
ja, Komponente, die ich jetzt bei diesen
component
Erinnerungen hervorgehoben
that
habe.
I really could
Und die
kind of
dritte
take out of
Situation,
the
nur um es
memory.
vollständig zu machen. Ich
And the
bin
third
als Qigong-Lehrerin ja
situation
sehr oft im Sommer
is
draußen in
that
der Natur
as a Qigong teacher,
und
I'm very
mache dann
often
mit der
outside
Gruppe
in
unter den
summer,
Bäumen
and
unsere
we make
Übungen.
Qigong under
Und
the trees, and we
spüre
make our
dabei die
exercises there,
Verbundenheit
and we
mit dem, was die
experience
Natur uns
there
zur Verfügung
our
stellt. Die
connectedness
Bäume
with that what the
stellen uns den
nature
Sauerstoff
is
zum
really
Atmen zur Verfügung. Und wir
delivers to
geben
us.
unser
So
Ausatmen
the
zurück an die
trees are
Bäume mit
giving
unserem
us the
Einatmen.
oxygen
Und wenn
that
wir
we
das mit
can
Achtsamkeit
breathe,
und
and
großer Zartheit
so with
spüren, dann
and if you
du auch
really
natürlich
experience this slowness and the
aufgenommen.
tenderness,
Mhm.
you feel
Und ich
like
fühle mich
dissolved
dann
in it.
also
And
ja
I
sehr
feel
verbunden mit Mutter Erde und mit allem,
myself
was um mich
very
herum ist.
connected with Mother Earth.
So in etwa war für mich jetzt der Prozess, der war sehr
So
schön.
that
Danke, dass wir uns die
was
Zeit
the
hatten.
process,
Ja,
and
ja, das ist
thank
wichtig
you
an der
for
Stelle.
having
Ja,
it.
danke. Soll
Absolut.
ja entstehen. Möchtest du, dass Hanna deine Sätze liest?
Do you want to, that Hannah
Ja,
reads
warum
your
nicht?
sentences?
Wenn
Hannah was the
wenn
partner.
Hanna das machen würde.
If Hannah
Das
would
ist
like to
Hanna.
do that.
Hanna ist da. Magst du Reginas Sätze lesen?
Ja, das mache ich gerne.
Mhm. So Hannah
Also, der
would
Satz
like to read the
zur ersten
sentences.
Erinnerung ist,
The
ich bin
sentence
eins
for the
mit
first
dem Wasser,
is
frei,
I'm one with the
freudig,
water,
getragen
small,
und verbunden.
in
Zeitlos.
happiness, carried, connected, and timeless.
Der Satz zur
The
zweiten
sentence
Erinnerung,
for the second memory is
verbunden in der
connected
Gemeinschaft,
in
der
the
Natur,
community,
bin
in
ich
the nature.
regelmäßig am
I
Achberg
am frequently in
Humboldt-Haus.
Achberg, in in the Humboldt house. And the third sentence is connected with the tree energy. I am I'm get the presence from, and I'm connected with Mother Earth.
Dann ist Karen. Karen, magst du auch
So Karen, do you also want to share?
etwas erzählen über dein Erleben?
Hi, yes, I'm going to speak in English.
Ja, sure.
That's okay. This was about sitting next to a lion for quite a long time. And the sentence was awe and intimacy in 1,000-yard stare.
Wow.
Did you say a lion, Karen?
Yeah.
Also es ging darum, neben einem Löwen zu sitzen. Und der Satz war Staunen und Intimität. What was this? Can you repeat the sentence?
Sure. Awe and intimacy in 1,000-yard stare. It's an English idiom. 1,000-yard stare.
In einem 1000-Yard Blick.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. That's nice. So, dann gehen wir mit dem schon in die
So now we will go with that now into the third exercise.
Jetzt in einem, sag jetzt im klassischen TAE würde jetzt aus jedem
In a classical TAE, from every sentence, we would kind of look at every of these words and we would look at into the essence of it, not about what we think about it or about how we interpret it, but from the felt sense. We would kind of how we could talk stories from our experience, from the felt sense, in a language that also others could understand, coming from that implicit, what only you can understand, but then to put it into a language such that the listeners and the readers can also be taken with you, such that they can understand. And that's really a very incredible creative work. But you can, from here, you can start and to go forward at home from each word which you are interested and to take it and to take it out and expand it. Now in the last exercise, we do the experiment, the kind of the real idea of the whole exercise. And it's kind of really to deal with the topic of the climate change. And it is that also if we use focusing, that we not only make a process about our difficult problems and that we try to go into actions, and even if it's a very, very important work, it's also that we really look into the source in us, that we can have this connectedness of what we want to talk about, and that we have all those memories, and in being one with nature, that we not only shelve them in the past, that we take them also as a source of power for what is ahead of us. And in that situation of the third exercise is that you take one of the sentences and they are not, speaking of everything, but just what they are talking from war felt sense, and always staying with a level of experience, think that you take that sentence you've chosen, that you take this, that you connect this one sentence, that you connect it with one of those concepts or terms from the first exercise. So, and then let those two things, the sentence and the term, interact with you, within you, in your felt sense, to let them interact with each other and ask what quality, what inner sense, what idea, whatever comes, that comes from this combination of both of it, at something that is in you, and maybe you re-encounter in yourself, and that you can kind of let through yourself, and that you also can kind of charge yourself with it. And it also should be a very, very individual experience. And the experiential part of that is in what I hope, that all those little stories of our life that we carry in us, that we really have them always present, that we take them into our future, which is uncertain for all of us. And that these changes which are coming and for us everywhere, that we really can master those changes with our own inner sources. So take your sentence, take them in you into the experiential level, into yourself, what's important for you about the climate change, and then let kind of reveal what can come out of it, what can kind of shine out of you, and what can help kind of to carry forward. So, and there is an example of what I did for myself. When I did it, it was very surprising. Courage came. There came an inner experience of courage. So courage is not something which I have to create, but it is kind of an endless source I can always rely to. And maybe something like that can also maybe happen for you in a different way. What kind of living energy, what kind of living source, what kind of power can you find in yourself? And you will make that again with your partner, and you have twice 10 minutes time, and we will do those 10 minutes for each, such that we also can have still some time to share at the end. So we will meet here again 20 minutes after the full hour.
We're all back.
Okay. Wir haben die letzten 10 Minuten zusammen.
We will have the last 10 minutes together.
Ja. So, wäre schön zu hören, wie es dir geht zum Schluss, oder ob du wirklich auch so eine Quelle gefunden hast, wo du dir vorstellen kannst, die trägt dich jetzt mit in dieser Welt, oder die trägst du in die Welt hinaus oder so.
It would be nice to hear now from you if you were able to find such a source in you that carries you, but also that you can carry out in the world, into the world.
Ich habe ja am Anfang gesagt, ich getraue mich mit euch zusammen ein Experiment durchzuführen. Das habe ich nur für mich und im privaten Rahmen ausprobiert. Und wir getraue mich, weil ihr eben alle gewohnt seid, ja, mit Focusing-Erfahrung habt und gewohnt seid, euch auf den Feldsens zu beziehen, sonst ginge das gar nicht hier in dieser kurzen Zeit. Und,
I told you at the beginning that I'm here to make an experiment with you, which I only did by myself, but I did it because I know that you are used to use focusing, and something like that is only be possible kind of if you really know how to deal with a felt sense or get a felt sense.
So, also für mein Lernen auch bin ich froh, wenn ihr Anmerkungen habt.
Yeah,
So
also for my own learning, it's I'm very happy if you have some remarks, if you want to say something.
Yeah, I do. Teresa, could you remind me of the question that you asked just a moment ago?
Kannst du mich dran erinnern, Teresa, welche Frage du vorhin gefragt hast?
You said,
Yeah.
What was it you expect to happen? Can you remind me so I can answer the question specifically?
Kam für dich aus dieser letzten Übung wie eine Energie, eine Kraft, eine Qualität, auf die du dich verlassen kannst, weil sie zu dir gehört oder die dich auch, wo du Vertrauen hast, dass die dich weiter bewusst im Leben begleitet, wenn es eben auch Schwieriges gibt, dass da auch das in dir ist, was konstruktiv dich mitträgt. So in meinem Beispiel war es
Can I translate?
Ja.
So the question is if you could find some kind of source in you, which is like an energy, a power, a quality, where you for you to go into and to trust also, and that you really can be aware of and rely on.
Okay, thank you. So the answer to your question is yes. Oh boy, yes. There was a really surprisingly strong, as I crossed, climate change in my sentence, something very new and fresh came. I won't bore you with what it was, but and there was okay. There was quite
yeah, there was something really surprising when I crossed my experience with the climate change.
Evelyn, can you translate that into
Sorry.
Sorry.
Ja, it happens. Als es passiert, ja, also da war was sehr Überraschendes, als ich mein eigenes Erlebnis mit dem Klimawandel, also mit dem Begriff Klimawandel gekreuzt habe.
And it was so very different from what I think in my head. So I'm used to that. Sorry.
Und es war so unterschiedlich von dem, was ich normalerweise in meinem Kopf denke.
And in my heart, it was really very full of hope. When in my head, when I think about climate change and climate crisis, it's quite dark and without hope. So that was very nice.
Ja, ja. In meinem Herzen war es wirklich voll von Hoffnung, im Gegensatz zu, wenn ich praktisch drüber nachdenke, dann ist da keine Hoffnung, es ist hoffnungslos.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Danke
You're
dir.
welcome. Thank you.
I would just like to share, thank you for this workshop. It was very inspiring. partner and I really got to some very deep places about simply the value of connecting with other people and sharing our experience more deeply as a driving force for change. And so it was a very surprising and empowering workshop. So thank you so much for this.
Ja, ich möchte einfach nur danken, und es war, also meine Partnerin und ich, wir sind zu wirklich sehr tiefen Erlebnissen gekommen und auch in diesem Verbundenheit und in dem gegenseitigen Austausch, und es war sehr überraschend für mich.
Dem möchte ich mich auch gerne anschließen. Diese Verbundenheit war für mich jetzt auch das Wunderbare über diese Entfernung auch mit der Hanna und mit euch und auch mit Teresa und dir, Evelyn, die also so, mir so vorkommt, also sich so anfühlt, dass doch die Hoffnung größer werden darf. Manchmal ist sie bei mir sehr klein. Ich muss mich dann sehr unter meine Bäume bewegen, in den Wald gehen und die Natur, also nur die Natur um mich herum spüren. Die gibt mir dann wieder Hoffnung, weil die Natur, die stirbt nicht, das ist klar. Sie leidet, aber kommt immer wieder.
Ja, also ich möchte mich auch da dem anschließen, was gerade vorher gesagt worden ist, mit dieser Verbundenheit. Und es ist wirklich so, I know it's English, so I really want to connect to the connectedness, and it's really the hope has to grow, and sometimes it's for me at least, and sometimes it's really that I have to go out in nature and to kind of to be with my trees, and then the the hope comes again, because the nature will not die, so it will survive. But and yeah, that's was it for me.
Meredith has her hand up.
Hello. I think what our friend just spoke might be the answer to my question. I wondered, I'm quite new to this, and because we're going to deep and dark places around crisis, I wonder if I don't find the hope that a couple of friends have spoken about, what to do. Yeah, we're going to say goodbye now, end of session. And what do I do if I'm leaving with not having found the hope, or the hope is just, you know, a little tender, or
Could I speak to that?
Ja, ich möchte gerne zuerst übersetzen. Vielleicht war jetzt, was gerade über die Hoffnung gesagt worden ist, auch schon die Antwort auf meine Frage. Das ist nämlich, ich bin ziemlich neu hier, und wenn man zu solchen tiefen und dunklen Plätzen geht und wenn man dann die Hoffnung nicht finden kann, was mache ich denn dann? Was mache ich, wenn wir jetzt praktisch gehen hier und auf Wiedersehen sagen, wenn ich keine Hoffnung habe oder wenn es so klein ist?
Also, Meredith, vielleicht ist für dich diese tragende Kraft nicht die Hoffnung, sondern was ureigen anderes. So, das ist mal das eine, und das andere ist, Wenn du es brauchst, können wir nachher zu zweit noch hier bleiben. Ich möchte nicht, dass du von einem dunklen Ort weg musst hier oder raus musst.
Ja, das Erste ist, dass vielleicht diese Kraft, die du da suchst, dass es nicht die Hoffnung ist, sondern
Sorry,
das ist
Evelyn.
was.
Auf Englisch.
Sorry.
Gaddafi.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. And the power, maybe the power is not the hope that you are looking for, but something very innately different. And the second is that I'm offering you to stay with you because I don't want you to leave at a dark place.
Ich habe auch im Chat habe ich meine E-Mail-Adresse hinterlegt und die Einladung gilt an alle. Wenn Fragen sind nachträglich, Kommentare, seid ihr willkommen, ja, mir zu schreiben. Und
Yeah, I left my email address in the chat, and you are all invited if you have questions or if you have comments, just write me.
ist das mal so okay für alle, um hier abzuschließen?
That's fine for everyone.
Yeah, it's
fine. Bye now.
Just before we go, Tiffy would like to take a screen capture of anybody who'd like to leave their camera on. So I just invite you to, if you want to be in this, to turn your camera on, and if you don't, that's fine. You can stay out.
Also Tiffy möchte jetzt gern noch ein Bild machen und wenn du auf diesem Bild drauf sein möchtest, dann kannst du die Kamera anschalten oder anlassen und wenn nicht, ist es auch in Ordnung, wenn du sie also auslässt.
Okay, so everybody smile. 3, 2, 1. Perfect, we have it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Vielen Dank euch allen.
Ja, vielen Dank.
Thank you.
Most gratitude.
Oh, vielen Dank dir, Teresa. Es war wunderbar.
Wunderbar.
Thank you so much.
It was a lovely workshop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.